So a good start to the wrestling here at the state championships. We'll move up now to the 98-pound weight class. And let's meet the two wrestlers at 98 pounds. From Section 6 out of Royalton-Hartland High School, Middleport, New York, Lou Roselli. He's a sophomore, age 15. And he'll be wrestling against Darrell Page from Elmira, Notre Dame. A sophomore, 15 years of age, undefeated this season. From Elmira, New York, Darrell Page, the 1985 champion at 91 pounds. He's moved up now to 98. He'll be wearing the red. And Lou Roselli will be in the orange, representing Section 6. The defending champion from a year ago, Darrell Page. He's one of two
98 pounds.
Trying to repeat as New York State champions.
6.
In our next match at 105 pounds, we'll see last year's 98-pound winner, Jeff Prescott. Right now, the wrestler is being introduced to the crowd. The record here in 1985-86 for Lou Roselli, 35-0. And a career record of 84-7.
Dave, it's a shame that after this match, somebody's going to have a blemish on the record. 35-0 and 32-0. That's a whole heck of a lot of wrestling for one season.
John, back in your high school days, did you wrestle this often?
Dave, we'd go into the sectional or state championships with maybe 17, 18 victories.
There we go. Roselli and Page. Maybe a little difficult to tell them apart because of the colors of their uniform. So the man with the knee pads who is wearing the red is Darrell Page of Elmira, wearing the black or the dark knee pads. Section 6 is Lou Roselli. Two undefeated wrestlers this year.
Both wrestlers seem to be feeling each other out, Dave. Trying to feel their strengths, quicknesses before they put their offense to work. Both stocky wrestlers.
John, is there the equivalent of a counterpuncher in wrestling?
There sure is. we call them defensive wrestlers. When a man shoots, they react to the situation. And most often than not, those wrestlers are great. They really are. They're not as much fun to watch, maybe, because it's a low-scoring match, but they are good. Single leg attempt near the out of bounds.
No scoring yet. We're nearly a minute into this match. Can the wrestler who appears to be more aggressive influence the scoring at all?
Not without scoring the points themselves. He can attempt 12 takedowns, but if he doesn't meet the criteria, he won't be awarded the points.
Page has his back to you now. Roselli trying to gain the upper hand. Page was shooting.
Single leg takedown.
Again, they spill out with 41 seconds to go in a scoreless first period.
You gotta go. Got a pressure in there. You gotta go.
You hear a lot of instructions being shouted from the corner. Are you allowed to coach per se?
You can yell moves, mostly encouragement. When you get to international style, Dave, all you can yell is encouragement. Coaching is not allowed. As a matter of fact, they will probably throw you out of the gym if you mention one move. At the high school level, it's actually needed.
Roselli made the move, but Page was quick. Offense wins the match is what one coach has yelled. You may have heard that.
Dave, I think the action will pick up in the second period, top and bottom.
No scoring here in the first period, and it's just come to an end.
The butterflies should be out of both men.
Let's look at how they got here. Roselli defeated Kurt Miner in the semifinals. Before that, he defeated Eric Plimpton and Charles Marshall. Darrell Page was a winner over Keith Ketchum and Marcel Cooper and Mark Smith in the opening round.
And Darrell Page had an overtime victory, 1-0.
That was over Keith Ketchum from Section 11. Section 11, by the way, has the Largest contingent here in the finals. They have 5 wrestlers. Section 5 has 4, and Section 8 has 4.
Section 11 also has a substantial team lead in point-wise at this particular moment.
They are the defending champions as well.
Section 4 has 4 men.
We still have no score. 35 seconds into the second period.
Both men just have shots. They're very cautious out there. Got some action going on there. 2 points awarded by official Gene Miley.
And those 2 points go to Lou Rosselli. Rosselli's on top now.
Both men being sophomores, I'm sure they're going to be finalists again next year.
Second year in a row in the finals for Page, a winner at 91 pounds last year.
Sully just riding at this point, not working for the fall. I think if he continues to lay back, referee's going to hit him with a caution for stalling. On the other hand, Page hasn't really made a great attempt to get off bottom.
And he's behind 2-0 now. We get a whistle to stop it.
He's going to repeat as champion. He's going to have to open up.
Louis, stay behind the hip. Stay behind the hip. Watch the Grammy. Stay behind the hip.
1 point was awarded. I'm not quite sure what for.
Break his hips down flat. Don't let him up.
I missed the call, Dave. Might have been a stalling call.
I think it was
all.
a stall. Page tried for the escape, which would have tied it. Down now to the final 10 seconds in period number 2.
Out of bounds. Dave, you see a lot of wrestlers on top riding with a half Nelson from one side or the other. Came in to the wrestling scene a few years ago with Gene Mills, and it seems like everybody's incorporated in their style of wrestling. I haven't seen anybody use it as good as Gene lately, but there's a lot of imitations out there. There's a nice tilt to the far side. I think he's going to get close to back points. Time runs out. Very close there.
Official right down on the mat was saying no. So the second period has come to an end, and it is still a precarious lead of 2-1 for Rosselli there with the number 6 on his wrestling singlet.
And Lou would like the final score to be in his favor. The 2-1 victory he can live with at this point.
He scored a 10-3 semifinal win. Darrell Page eked out a 1-0 overtime victory.
Keep it on the mat, make it work now.
Might be the nerves getting to Page at this point.
He's one of 2 men who has a chance to repeat as a state champion. Right now he's trailing by a point.
Out of bounds.
In the event this match is tied, what will happen?
Dave, they'll go into a overtime, which should be a 1 minute first period, 1 minute second, 1 minute third. If it's tied at that point, they go on a criteria basis, and I believe that's who scored the first 2-point move or first 3-point move, actually.
We've had only one 2-point move in the entire match.
Lou Rosselli's working that arm bars pretty good to the side and the tilts. Very tough on top. Good hand control. He's got a 2-on-1. He's keeping his weight on top of Darrell Page. Just missing those back points. And time's running out for Darrell Page. Minute 15 left.
What would he be best advised to try now? Page on the bottom.
Well, I'm not quite sure what his strong points are, but in this particular case, whatever works best for you to get off the bottom is what you have to go to. It's your ace in the hole. He doesn't seem like he's going for anything, and all of a sudden he gets his 1 point. He's very close to 1-point escape. He should award it right now.
Yes.
We got a tie match, Dave. Out of bounds.
52 seconds left. Now Rosselli looking back to his coach for some quick instructions. Here we go. Crowd is into this one. Will somebody become daring, or will they be overly cautious now?
Well, with 40 seconds left on the clock, I think both men would probably want to go into overtime.
That's Rosselli's coach.
Yelling instructions, trying to get him to get the 2 points. He's got 25 seconds left. Got some fans yelling, swallowing. I'm not quite sure which wrestler they're calling him for.
Here we go, 10 seconds to go. Now you don't want to make a foolish mistake now.
No, not one you got to live with for the whole season, or a whole summer anyways. Very close to a 2-point takedown right there.
And we will go to overtime.
Speak of the devil. Rosselli was trying to get his 2 points. I don't think he wanted to go into overtime. He wanted that state championship right away. I'd say he's a little bit thirsty right now.
They'll get a minute here between periods?
Yes, they will. Give him a chance to get loose, get a breather, then back out for 3 minutes of tough wrestling.
What would you be telling him now? What do you suppose he's being
Well, both
told?
coaches are rubbing him out, and they're explaining what he was doing wrong in the match, or what he should be looking forward and doing in the overtime. Getting back to basics, Dave. If he didn't get off the bottom, why he didn't. His takedowns, why he missed.
At this point in the match, do you suppose either wrestler has a technique he hasn't tried yet? Is there an element of surprise still remaining?
I believe that's why it went into overtime, Dave, because both wrestlers got here with phenomenal records. They both have. Rosselli's got 15 pins and Page has 14 pins. Both are very good on top. They haven't shown anything yet.
They stand here in the first overtime.
Coming out a little quicker pace than they did in the regulation period, first period. Tying up upper body. High crotch attempt by Darrell Page.
We will go through all 3 overtimes, barring a pin.
Correct, Dave. It's just like a regulation match, just half the time. Wrestlers seem to be near the out of bounds quite a bit lately.
Next up after this one at 105 pounds, Shannon DeRoshi and Jeff Prescott. Once again, Lou Rosselli out of Middleport's Royalton-Hartland High School is in the orange with the number 6. And Elmira Notre Dame's Darrell Page.
Dave, I'd like to point out at this time that in the overtime, score clock goes to 0 for both men. What happened in the regulation match is history, and they start over at scratch, 0-0.
End of the first overtime period, there was no scoring. Now the coin flip. The choice is Rosselli's, and he'll be up.
Now he elected to start out in referee's position standing. He has the option to do 3 things, Dave, and he opted to go for the takedown. Trying to spin behind here.
There's only been one 2-point move in this entire match, and Rosselli got it early.
Right, and that would be the criteria that he would win the match by. Not much action.
The crowd is continuing to yell he's stalling, but as you said earlier, which one are they talking about?
Another snap down, spin behind, tried by Rosselli.
How far across the line does he have to go before they'll stop it?
Well, one wrestler can be totally out of bounds, and until the opponent's supporting parts are out, they'll continue the wrestling. Some of the jammed crowd we have here today. Almost sounds like a pro wrestling match at this point.
Yeah, they'll be here later in the week. End of the second overtime period, no scoring. So now, this will be the final minute of wrestling you'll see between Lou Roselli and Darrell Page.
We were talking earlier, Dave, about the riding time. This is the first time one man's taken the top position. Had it been instituted at the beginning of the season, he would be awarded. There's 2 points. That could be the match if he hangs on. Now he's got a cradle, Dave. He's trying to get more back points.
Roselli looked to be the more determined as they began this third overtime. And I think Page was tired.
Certainly is. 2 points.
Only a half a minute left now for Page if he wants to repeat as a champion.
He's going to have to do something now. So with a tight waist, he goes for. He's got 2 more. He should have had a pin there, Dave.
He is in control.
Darrell Page tried to roll through. Roselli stopped him on his back, and I thought it was a pin. So it took him into overtime to win. But he looked great in that third period.
Lou Roselli really sucked it up there at the beginning of that third period.
Certainly did.
He really came out firing.
Ah, what a feeling. That's great. We're going to have a replay. He's got a cradle in here.
Let's see if this is where you thought the pin should have been called.
I believe here he's going to come back to his base and then try the roll through. Roselli on top, Page on the bottom.
See Page's face? He's frustrated there.
No, we didn't get to it on that shot.